What's up, guys? It's Ian with Creative here at CTC, and talking with Richard from the team about what the heck is a brand video.
What's up, guys?
Oh, what is a brand video?
No idea. Let's find out.
All right. Yeah, so Richard, here at CTC Creative, we develop obviously assets and creative at many different touch points, but one of the things that we focus on a lot in working with brands is the idea of a brand video.
Yeah.
And so, what do you think about when you hear brand video?
Well, what I think about when I hear the word brand video is what you usually see, which is a sort of vague, abstract set of images that are supposed to express some kind of feeling that you're supposed to have about the brand without really saying much about what I think a brand video is supposed to do, which is express why your brand even exists. And so I think if you're asking that question about why the brand video exists at all, then you kind of got a problem. But,
right.
So.
Well, it's because someone said that we have to make a brand video.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And that's the obvious answer.
Right.
But no, it's funny. I think about Dissolve is a video footage licensing company, and one of their promotions that they did, they created a spoof on "This is a brand video." We'll actually put a link to it in the description below. But yeah, it's just great. Like all of the cliches that you hear, like innovation
yeah, right.
and revolutionary design and all of these things, like they really pull out kind of the core ingredients that you hear a lot in a brand video. But one of the things I think you picked up on was like really defining the why for brands.
Exactly.
And I think in defining the why, like what it allows you to do with that asset is explore not only what that means for your company through product and how that plays out, but really it's almost like this North Star and kind of like a brand compass of sorts for, a brand to kind of orient themselves around. And so just going through the exercise of even developing a brand video is kind of like a brand exercise in many ways, like asking those questions that really kind of uncover like what the core key motivator is for them to do what they do and make the products that they make.
Yeah, exactly. You want to try to basically reveal the sort of almost philosophical core of who you are without being too abstract about what it is you actually do. So I think one thing that a brand video can do well is tie those two things in together. The big picture, why do we even exist, which is a question I don't think a lot of companies answer very well.
Right.
But taking that idea and then mixing it with, well, what do we actually do for you? And I think a lot of times people separate those two things from each other and just kind of talk about these vague whys without tying them into, and actually we make this product that you can have.
Right, right.
But take those two pieces, bring them together and say, this is why we do it, and this is what we do. And then kind of tying those two things in together under the same banner. Basically.
Right, and it's important that they connect, right?
Yeah.
Because you can be purpose-driven and be innovating for a certain reason, but if your product or experience doesn't support that, then there's obviously like a disconnect. And so like part of that is like just being ultra authentic and honest, which I think for many brands is a difficult thing to do given market conditions and given maybe 20 years of being in business and doing it a certain way and having to reposition that or pivot that.
Yeah, I think a lot about, there was an ad from the 90s that Dixie made where everybody was showing their like Dixie cups and their Dixie plates and then writing sort of kind of a touchy-feely family or community value in Sharpie on the plate, right? Like home, love, like that kind of thing.
Right.
And that was kind of in vogue at the time, I think, but it doesn't, that video and ad says nothing about the fact that Dixie holds food. Right? And so I think with a company like Dixie, everybody knows who they are, so they're not going to be hurt by that. But I think where a lot of e-com businesses especially stumble is jumping straight to the like holding up a plate with love written on it in Sharpie without then explaining that, oh, you could put some food on this and then eat off of it.
Right.
And that's actually the point.
Right. It's connecting those two things. And like that whole experience that plays out is not only just like video assets or even products, it's the web experience, it's the community that you develop, it's the font and messaging and all these like aesthetic kind of tools that you have at your disposal to really like draw the connection and have like a clear thread throughout that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Exactly.
It's fun. Well, cool. Yeah, I mean, I think you said one time, like, what was Michelangelo's quote about like chiseling the...
Oh, yeah. Chiseling, or already seeing the statue within the marble before he begins to chisel it out.
Right, and I think that's something that like, being in the business sometimes distracts you from actually seeing like what's inside the marble in many cases, right? Because you're focused on like OpEx and supply chains and return on ad spend and all of these things when like really the core is there. And so it like, it's fun for us to go through the process of going through that, kind of experience in uncovering that through, in many ways, like the best way is like a Socratic method, like just asking the right questions, which then like brings out a level of thinking that kind of reveals what that core is, because in many cases, like it's there, it's just kind of hard for you to see it yourself, as a brand. So. Yeah. That's cool. I know it's kind of like loose and abstract, but I think the other thing too is just drawing the comparison of different brand videos. Like there is no one formula to creating a brand video, and so I'd love to just share. What I'll do is I'll share some of the links of like different brand videos that exist out there. Some of which we've touched and had a part in creating, but also like brand videos that like feel contrived and feel for the sake of making the brand video, and then also brand videos that are very different in format, but just resonate on like a deep level. And I think that's ultimately like the goal, right? Is to like connect and humanize a group of people who make a thing that you either, see value in purchasing or not, right? Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Well, hopefully that was helpful, guys.
Yeah. Think we answered our own question. What is a brand video?
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah, it's the why. Take care.
See ya.